Hello, Gemini. Welcome to a timeless justice for Gemini reading, where we discuss the topic of yes, justice. However, the conversation would like to be held by the energies of this channel, which belongs to Sekhmet. However, she would like to have the conversation is in true form, and you may find that the energies may come off to you as merciful and or merciless. Again, however, it will be in however she would like to have the message be dictated. With that being said, I will do my highest vibrational honor to deliver these messages as best as possible as Seventh, the interpreter. However, keep in mind that you have tapped into a collective reading that I am holding at this time. This is not a personal one-to-one connection. It is important that you take the pieces you enjoy and leave anything behind that you may not have. Bear in mind, however, you are affiliated to the terminology and relationship to Gemini and or the latter is again in true form to seeing whether or not anything within this reading is for you. Also, there is plenty of information in the description box to help you gain access to the sister channel of Sekhmet, which is Bastet. I highly implore that if you felt like any of this reading was for you, that you also elevate thyself checking out her content over there. A lot of you are not going to, but it's neither here or there. What else? Please remember that if you are trying to gain access to my website and are seeing that it is currently not available, try and remember you can come back at a later time and it should be up and running. In regards to the reading, feminine and masculine energies are non-gender specific. However, femininity has both feminine and masculinity. Masculinity as well has both feminine and masculinity. Nothing else, so let's get into your reading. Alright, Gemini. I am Seventh, aka Master Seventh, that reads these energies for you. Again, I'm a master healer that provides remote wellness alignments and tarot intuitive insights, such as this. Gemini, your third eye is looking for fucking meaning, and some of you just are not entertaining it the right way. Whether that entertaining is also not entertraining your mental mind about what to consume to avoid it from being shut, yet active. And some of you don't even fucking believe in this fucking pineal gland, but you don't have to. It's a fucking gland. And it has power. Just like some of y'all believe in the fucking heart, but for some reason when it comes to emotional intelligence and emotional everything, some of you don't even have coping skills, mannerisms, charm, charisma, closure, disclosure, truth, and all that shit. But you want to talk about the philosophies of love, but when somebody talks to you about scientific exploration about the pineal gland, you're like, nope. Woohoo! Gemini. Obviously that message is not for everyone. Alright, for those of you who are on quite the opposite spectrum, your eyeball is like going loopy as fuck, is trying to gain access to new symbolisms and fulfillment and enrichment. Now look at that, the star here. Page of Cups with the King of Pentacles, looking for energy to ground as the vastness of cognitive conceptual thinking is quite broad for Gemini. A lot of crossing the T's and dotting the I's for Gemini, making things make sense at full disclosure. Alright, you've worked diligently, okay? You've shown up a little bit to your own human suffrage, right? Not all of it was done responsibly, okay? Like, did you have to go for that next drink, or could you have stopped by the one right before? That kind of thing. Do things a bit too on the excess sometimes. There's like a residual remaining exponent, and it's like not necessary. It's not necessary. And that comes from gaslighting yourself, really. You had an opportunity to step into a realm of alignment with people or whatever, and you fell off. So that means you just fell off with yourself, alright? You don't owe someone else something about showing up for their shit, All right, but you not showing up for them means you didn't show up for yourself, period. And the person is big enough to handle that shit. They'll move on. They'll have somebody else show up for them. All right. But you really missed the boat here. Some of you are trying to figure out how to swim the fuck back. You're like, I don't even need a life vest. Just get me back. It's not how it really works, right? Okay. Maybe listening to maybe a different genre of music. All right. Meshing yourself with different forms of universal availability of resources so that you can be awakened a bit more here. There's a lot of like subdued energies. This comes from regret and remorse and not feeling dignified, recognizing mistakes and not really sure how to rebuttal from them, because you really want to rebuttal in having the past be repeated, having a missing person be found again. Resolution will come to this, but it will only come at the speed of your own reckoning. Some of you should look at the spiritual meaning of an octopus. That might resonate for someone. Or you have an octopus tattoo. Alright, we have the 10 of Pentacles. It's one thing to have an emotional relationship with an animal, and then you also having a relationship with a person. However, you need to have an emotional relationship with the person as well. Okay. Like, you can't substitute. Some of you want to go into like, whether that's in the upcoming seasonal changes of either spring into summer, summer into fall kind of thing, but like vineyards, traveling to vineyards and things like that, and wanting to learn about agriculture perhaps, and old timelessness, and feeling a lot of Italian, French characteristics coming through as far as the garden, whether that's also liking those vast, big, luscious gardens that those cultures are known for. I'm seeing also a lot of lush foliage to make sure that you take your symbol. I don't know why I'm doing all of this here. You're meant to be like immersed in something, maybe whether that's learning how people do things with their hands, less machinery, the quality, intricate details of life, and the time intention of human activity, human prosperity, human value of resources and trade opportunity. All that is coming from the Knight of Pentacles. I feel like with that being said, there's also been an inquisition of whether or not you should seek an opportunity to come, but the opportunity is, quite honestly, not in the way, it's not in the highest form that it could arrive to you. Like, you will gain more if you don't accept it right now. It'll grow and expand, become bigger and grander if you say no to that now. We have 2 of Cups, 2 of Swords, and the 10 of Swords. Yeah, so I was gonna say there's a lot of energy here to say that you, Gemini, need to be taught how to trust yourself a bit more. Okay, there's like a very small form of power that you have. It needs to be bigger than you are. Okay, and that all of that should take up your space as you, and you fulfilling yourself, and fulfillment coming from the external resources of your energies returning back to you, and having that symbiosis of a DNA relationship with yourself. You know, maybe feeling also the heat of the energy right now coming and making itself enmeshed within you, and starting to make you feel and think a different thing than you did a moment ago, with a different, more elevated approach. And that's high vibrational knowledge and wisdom coming through, in a sense that the universe is having that secret, sacred, intimate relationship with you, without you needing to deny it, without you thinking that's something that is impossible or unachievable. Like, ether will only get as close as how much the pain that you carried will get to. That didn't make any sense. Ether can only get to you as intimate and deep as the pain that you feel there. That's where she can meet you too. So, unless you have a keen trust to open vulnerability, to accept that of what makes you hurt and bleed, you will not be in an alignment. And you will forevermore repeat patterns until you open up yourself entirely, which in this reading, I guess the elephant of the word here of the room, the elephant in the room here is the word shadow. It's very Aries reading as well. Not really understanding what shadow is here. Like, some of you think it's only having to do with negative. Quite the contrary, there is artificial luminance. There's artificial light. That is also fucking negative energy. So, anyway. If that doesn't get fixed, if that doesn't get addressed, okay, you're gonna get more and more tired. And if cells get more and more tired, you're more prone to occurring continued chronic discomforts, or even new form of diseases. Death. Oh. As the wind comes and blows the cards. Look at that. The card that was blown was the Eight of Wands and the Hierophant card. The wind blew that from the window, so we'll take it. The Death card here. Let's get a card from the two cards set flown. Just one card. Truly being a good sleep. Detoxing the mind right before sleep, so that the mind doesn't have to worry about the shit that you didn't worry about, that you didn't focus on when you're going to sleep, making room for other shit. Oh, wow. The wind dragged in. Fuck. That's not cool. Three of Cups, I literally see her like the wind. The reason why I say it's not good, how can I say that's not good? The wind dragged in the Hierophant and the Eight of Wands. And the message of that, it's not good. I think what it's trying to allude to is however you define yourself to have a relationship with yourself and your relationship to life. Have very high highs and extreme low lows. And when you become aware of that massive pull from one extreme to the other, you're exhausted. Your emotional body, your physical body, your spiritual body. That's why I'm saying it's not good. is getting, like, meshy. Alright. This is just my major arcana on my deck. Let's see what is invisible to us. What was that? It was the Wheel of Fortune. Tuh. Any second now, a card should come out. Just trying to find like the right. Okay, we have nothing. Nothing. Nothing is everything. Everything is nothing. That's why all of it feels like nothing. But that nothing is you, because you are the something that's breathing, you're something that's exhaling, you're something that is either hungry, wants things, desires things, sad, is emotional on things. It's not nothing, right? Nothing is not nothing. Alright, we have the Magician and the... We have the Magician and the Hermit. Okay, so we are feeling the huge highs and lows at this time. We're not really sure what the direction is taking us, but we know that stagnancy is just not cutting it. We are pressed with time, money, diligence, and morality. At the same time, the infinite powers of ability keeps you in the inhale and exhale, in the oscillating cycle of what it means to permeate. And you're trying to just fill in the identity to that. Alright, that was helpful, thank you. I can see a bit better, literally, the eye coming out, but we're not taking that, that was just for me. Okay, so literally in every card, in every reading so far, there has been an eyeball coming out. And in general, it feels like an eyeball, these cards, right? These circle cards. Everything is slippery. Slippery, everything is falling out of your hands, okay? If that's the case, a lot of things are falling, breaking around you. You're just, the matrix around you is breaking, okay? It's recalibrating, literally. Recalibration. And you need to be made in touch with that. That's why things have to happen on a physical level, all right? The ancestors need to see a little bit better, all right? Your guides need to see a little bit better. The third eye needs to illuminate a little better. It needs to understand things a little bit more secular, okay? You are convinced that shadow is darkness, and no, shadow knows that darkness is all of rainbow. Darkness is the culmination of all these colors, is what this is. And that is the full disclosure. That is the 180 degree of the 360 possibility, with all four angles that are 90 degrees. The hard angles, the truths, the poignant pin needles, the mask and the illusion, the one that carries the pain and the morality of knowing, yet the understanding and conceptual ability to resonate with the fact that there's something infinitely beyond than the current current. The current. The castle, the same card as, oh, I don't even remember at this point, maybe Sagittarius, the castle, and the offering. Fucking amazing. It's just about whether or not you are hating that call. Are you feeling this energy? The energy is to be felt in the colors that are coming through. They're resonating a lot with you right now in your heart chakra, heart space right here. All right, you might be getting sensation vibrations here in the mind, and you might getting tingling sensation in your neck, all having to do here, the clavicle and the neck area, the head. All right. Getting to be able to see the 360 this is the 180, and you have a possibility the 360 of 180 on one side, and then the impossibility of not seeing behind you. Okay, but since thoughts are cyclical, you do see and you do have eyes in the back of your head. However, that's gonna make sense to you. And they want me to stop right here. Amazing ending cards, I'll tell you that much. You may want to take a screenshot of those cards. Alright, I'm wishing you a wonderful morning, noon, or night, wherever you are in the ether of time and space, and may you keep flowing, growing, and glowing. Take care.